Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I felt like it was needed to talk on unwanted hate, but at the same time, I did want to ask this question and more so just look for a bunch of different answers where we can properly have, because I do want to at some point in time, like, I guess, build up every answer possible, but I feel like that the wrong type of people are going to hear this and they ain't going to want answers for it. They just want to continue hating on something they ain't did nothing to them and things. And it's like, that's the stuff that always confused me. Why do people do that? Why do you guys hate on stuff and they ain't did nothing to you? Because I can speak on my own experiences dealing with that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other people that can speak on their own experiences dealing with that. But overall, though, it's like, it's something that I don't understand. Like, just to speak on my own experience real quick. So, I remember at one point in time, reaction videos was, well, you know what, because I feel like I always talk on reaction videos, I want to talk on my gaming videos, because I even remember when because I started doing content creating full-time, back in 2015, and the first, like, line of content that I started, like, heavily getting into was, gaming videos. And so, no, I remember people were hating on my Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas videos. I remember somebody had got mad at me for how I was doing, a video where I was, playing this game called Zombie Driver HD. There was this one game where I think it was called, like, Axion or something like that. It was, like, some survival game. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Yeah, it's like a Axion or something like that. But it was, like, this, survival game. And, yeah, it was, like, people were hating on me for, saying good things about the game. Because I remember when the game, I think, was getting some hate. And I played it for myself. And I was all like, I actually had fun with this game. I'm like, maybe I'm missing out on something, but I'm like, I played worse. You know, there's games that I played where I'm like, why do I have this game? Why am I playing it? Like, what's the idea behind this game? Like, how is this going to be a long, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I might have, because I definitely feel like when a person just randomly starts hating on some stuff, it's definitely a disorder. Maybe I have that disorder, but I'm like, that's the thing though, where I guess, like, speaking on if I say that I hate a video game, like The Division 2 for an example, currently right now, I have a strong disliking towards that game. I'm not going to say that I hate it, but I have a strong disliking towards it. And the reason why is because you can dump hours, no, not even like years into playing this game, right? And feel like that you haven't achieved nothing. And that's what's the crazy thing about it, is that people, I feel like they would say that I'm a hater of that game. If that's what you want to say, go ahead. Maybe I am a hater of that game. But my thing is this though, if I buy a video game, right, the one thing that I want to do with this video game is have fun with it. If I feel like that I'm playing a video game and I'm not achieving nothing, but here it is, this company is making all of this money, I'm going to feel like that I got scammed. And it's crazy because people will try to argue with me about, like, my strong disliking towards The Division 2. But the thing is this, I'm not saying that The Division 1 is a bad game. I'm not saying that that new mobile game that they just came out with, Resurgence, is a bad game. I'm just saying that The Division 2 can do better. I don't know why they haven't, but they can. And it confuses me because I'm like, you guys are the same ones where if you play a game like Cyberpunk 2077, No Man's Sky, Batman Arkham Knight, The Day Before, I'm trying to think of some other video games that's gotten bad ratings and stuff, you will say nothing but bad things about those games. But when I say something about a game that you like, oh, it requires an argument, it requires we got to sit here and talk about this. I say that because I just remember when another game I will have to say I have a strong disliking to. I don't hate it, but I guess if there's anything, I hate how the game plays out. I hate that you spend more time fooling around with the tutorial than you do playing the video game, because they have it where it's like a game is way too complex when you got 3 different areas for the tutorial. You got some beginner stuff, and I think you got some expert stuff, and then like intermediate, or so it's like they got like 3 different difficulties to the tutorial. So they got easy, medium, and hard. Let's just say that. I don't remember what the last one was, but yeah, I think it had like learn the basics, and then learn some stuff where it's like, oh, you might need to know this, and then some things where it's like, I guess my question is with a game like that is, why did you guys make the game so complex? Why did you make the game so difficult if you know that it's going to have to be a 3-part tutorial? Then on top of that, why didn't you not make the tutorial free so I could have figured out what I needed to do in the tutorial, then go out and buy the game and then play it, you know, versus the thing is this, because I with X4 Foundations, hold on for a second, let me see how much time I put. 8.1 hours into that game, and I guarantee and I promise you 1 hour was from gameplay, and then another the other 7 hours was going back and playing the tutorial and trying to figure out stuff. I don't like games like that. I don't buy games to spend more time in the tutorial than playing the game. And I know people are going to probably be all like, oh, sound like it's a skill issue. I'm not here for them catchphrases. If you comment one of them catchphrases, the comment will get deleted and you will get blocked. I'm tired of those catchphrases for gaming. People got to stop with that. I guess if there is anything I hate, it's that, you know, because everybody wanted to say that, but it's like they don't want to explain how. Like, how is it a skill issue when there's all these other different space games, even Star Citizen, that game being a buggy game, I still managed to figure out that game. I managed to figure out Elite Dangerous. I managed to figure out No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, they have it where it's like the game, it's like it's a blend of the game and the, like, not really tutorial, but it's like they tell you what to do and where you need to go to. And I'm thinking to myself, why not just do that in X4 Foundation? Versus having it where it's like, I gotta like dump all that. Yeah, that game was a scam. I'm like, for all the stuff that they charge in that game, all these different DLCs, and I'm like, fam, you guys are not in a position to be asking for DLCs when there's so much missing from the game itself. That's why I was like, X4 Foundation, I wouldn't say that I hate it, but I have a strong disliking towards it. So, but overall though, but like I said, I have my reasons. I explained why I do. Now, would it make sense if I never played X4 Foundations? There's no evidence of me playing this game. I don't have no hours, not even seconds into this game, and I just randomly start talking about how I hate the game. How would I be able to actually hate this game if I've never played it, if I don't know nothing about it? And it's people like that where it's like, so I guess putting myself in the shoes of the person being strongly because I feel like people try to, you know, use my own words against me, and they were like, oh, I don't hate you, I just strongly dislike you. And it's like, why is y'all trying to like play games with people the way that some people have, like, now I would say that the reason why I think that there are people out there that hate me, because I'm like, why is there people telling me to end my life? Why is it people threatening my life? Why is there people, I'm trying to think of some other stuff that's been said to me. I mean, racist things. What else? Yeah, and it's like, when I see that, I'm like, you can't tell me that, oh, this is because of something minor. If you get that easily upset over something minor, you don't need to be on the internet. That's one thing for sure. That's more than a disorder. Like, nah, you got some serious issues. If it could be the smallest things. And you know, the thing is this, like, when I very first got into content creating, I even remember all the way back when I was doing gaming, still to this day do gaming videos. Well, I mainly just stream and then just post the video afterwards and stuff. But anyways, but no, overall though, I remember when I very first had started, like content creating full time and stuff. Excuse me. And, no, I remember when it was my Grand Theft Auto San Andreas videos. Then there was this one video game that I played called Zombie Driver HD. I remember I did some videos on that, but it was just only one video that the person was hating on. Then there was this game called Axion, where people were hating on the fact that I said that it was a good game. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I had a good time with the game. You gonna deny that I had a good time with the game? How is that? When you're the one that's, if you played the game and didn't like it, okay, then that's on you. But I played the game. I liked it. And then it's funny because then there's other games that I've criticized and have said bad things about, and you don't ever hear nobody talking about those games, either because nobody is playing it, it's a dead game, or the game got shut down. One game, for an example, Warface Breakout. I remember I did a video talking about that game and talking on my frustrations with that game. Next thing you know, I looked up one day and that game got shut down. It is no longer a video game. So it was just funny to me where I was like, there's stuff like that where I can explain why, but then people try to say, no, the game is actually good. How's the game? Are you going based off of your experience on why the game is good? Or is it the general experience that everybody is having? Because that game died off a lot quicker than it blew up. I think the only reason why I think that I went out of my way to buy that game, because I remember they had Denzel Curry playing in the background in one of the trailers. So, but other than that, it was all like, fam, that's one of those games where if you don't know anything about it, it pretty much was Counter-Strike, but for consoles. And then it's like with Counter-Strike, I think, when did Counter-Strike, that new version of it, like 2 or something like that, come out? Because I don't know if it was when that game came out or if it was just shortly after Warface Breakout came out. But no, I do remember that game. I looked up one day and the game was it was pretty much dead. Warface Breakout, like nobody was playing it, and I think eventually they just shut the game down. Excuse me, maybe the game is still accessible, but if not, then it's like, yeah, I didn't do that video just out of like just pure like, oh, I just randomly hate this game. I played it. I didn't have fun with it. I know that there are people out there that follow me because we share the same values when it comes to playing a video game. So my thing is this. The thing that people need to understand is that they don't come to my channel. I feel like that needs to be explained. They don't come to my channel for your comments or feedback or criticism towards me. They come to my channel to watch me. My thing is this, and you can look at a lot of different situations out there where it's like a comedian. Do people go to a comedy show to hear the comedian or hear the comments that people are making? Because that would be distracting. That would be mad distracting if I'm trying to watch a comedian, but then there's all these people around me talking, and I'm like, fam, I can't hear the comedian. Can y'all keep your feedback? Text each other if you need to. But overall, nobody does that. If you go to a movie, let's just say, okay, the new Michael Jackson movie, how would you feel if you went to go watch that movie and people were sitting here having all these side conversations talking about it, and it's like, fam, can I watch the movie? Like, okay, you have your weird feelings towards Michael Jackson, but I'm like, I'm trying to watch this movie. I'm trying to see what's going on in this movie. All right, so, but I'm trying to think of, okay, music. If, again, Michael Jackson, if I'm listening to one of his songs, I'm not trying to have somebody tapping me in the shoulder talking about, oh, hey. So that's what I mean by, like, when people, they're not listening to, if they wanted to hear your feedback, they will go to you and they will ask you for your feedback. But I feel like a lot of the times when I was dealing with hate, that people were just doing it because it was a trend amongst the community. But that was like more so when I got into doing reaction videos, but talking on my gaming videos again. But no, I remember when people were hating on the Axiom video, and I was like, okay, did they come here for your hatred towards the game, or did they come here to see me play the game? Like, I'm not just gonna lie to people and be all like, oh, because I didn't get that game. I think I ended up paying for that game. I didn't get that game for free. I used my own hard-earned money to go out and buy that game. I don't think that game was free. Hold on for a second. Is that game even available to be purchased? Because that might be one of those video games where it got shut down or something, or at least like, yeah, people they're not that game's not available anymore. So, but I wonder, is there a way to see when I had bought this game? Because yeah, it doesn't have it anywhere. But I thought the game was decent. You know, it's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, if it's an indie project, and it's crazy because it's like when you look at a lot of different major video games out there where they come from like high-end companies, if you're expecting me to go play this game over Axion, then I'm like, fam, that's not going to happen, because I'm like, them games aren't good. Like NBA 2K, for an example. They done released the same game for probably, 10 years now? They might change something here and there and things, but other than that, it's like, they're not doing anything to that game to make it worth playing. And it's like, I guess, like, yeah, if you are a basketball fan and you want to recreate some games or do some stuff on your own, then it's like, okay, cool. But at the same time, I'm like, there's nothing fun about having to put more money into the game than actually sitting down and playing it. So I'm like, that's why I'll criticize. And yeah, there will probably be some people out there that are hardcore NBA 2K fans. I'm not trying to take that away from you. I'm not trying to change your mind or alter it. But at the same time, I'm like, if I have my own personal feelings about a game, I'm not trying to have people change my mind or alter how I think about a video game because you like it. Okay, if you like it, good for you. I'm happy for you. That doesn't mean that I have to like the game. So, but anyways, what else? Then the zombie driver game. So I remember I played that for a little bit, and the guy was hating on the video because I was treating it like a live stream. I think he said something along those lines where he was all like, yeah, you're treating this like a live stream. You'll talk here and there and all that stuff. And it's like, because I'm playing the game. Am I not allowed to play the game and focus on the game? And what's funny is that my thing is this, if you watch live streams, what would be the difference of, like, I guess, like, why would it be a problem if I'm playing the game? Because I'm like, okay, I can't edit those parts out because people are wanting to watch the gameplay. So how am I supposed to go? That's what I mean by like people where it's like at times they'll try to like criticize you and stuff about whatever it is that you're doing, and I'm like, you're not showcasing, I guess, how that you're just going based off of how you want the video to play out. Do you go to the movies and be all like, oh, this scene should have happened, or they should have took this scene out, or they should have did this, they should have did that? Yeah, you can leave that type of feedback, but at the end of the day, there are going to be people that are going to watch this movie and they're not going to see nothing wrong with it. So, going back to my videos, there are people that are going to watch my videos and they're not going to see nothing wrong with it. You can't speak for everybody. So it's funny because I remember it wasn't too long ago somebody was like, they said something along those lines where they made it seem like they were trying to speak for everybody. And I'm like, fam, you don't know how everybody's going to feel when it comes down to watching my videos and stuff. So, but anyways, and then the one, I think, yeah, it was like the guy, he was just randomly hating. Like, at least with the other people, they didn't like, I guess, Axion because of how the game played. The guy didn't like my videos because he felt like I was treating it like a live stream. I remember there was this one guy, he was just hating on my Grand Theft Auto videos. And I'm thinking to myself, this was before I was like blocking people and deleting comments and all that stuff. Like, I was going back and forth with this guy some days, and I'm thinking to myself, you don't have nothing better else to do. Like, I'm not, like, I guess playing the game any different than anybody else that's playing the game. Like, I'm just playing the game. How is that wrong? How is that a problem? So that's why I was like, yeah, it's just people out there where I'm like, y'all just go on the internet and you just want to act a fool for no reason. And it's like, it's things like that where I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, but I'm like, I can't support that type of behavior. You know, it's like if you, my thing is this, if you don't like a person, fam, there are so many different ways of avoiding that individual, or if there's something out there where it ain't even like, it's an object and you just don't roll, or food, drink, whatever. If you keep putting yourself in that position to dealing with whatever it is that you don't like to deal with, it's like, who's at fault? Whose problem? Because I look at where I'm like, okay, I guess like with my content, it's like you guys purposely put yourself in front of my videos, and I know people are probably like, oh, it was probably just trolling and all that. Nah, the way that these people, I'm like threatening my life and then saying I need to off myself and all that, that ain't trolling. I'm like, you got some like actual legitimate hatred, and I'm like, if this is all because of some YouTube videos, fam, you guys got to get your priorities straight. That's something that I've always have stood by, but I mean, that's something that a lot of people would say. It's like, you got that much running through you, or that much anger running through you, to where you're willing, and the thing is this, people don't be hearing stories like that. They don't be paying attention to stuff like that, where it's like, you tell a person to go and do some stuff like that, then they do it, and now everybody's looking at you like, and then I feel like that they would try to defend themselves, because it was the one, the girl, I think she was like an animal activist person. And I can't even remember what she did, but she didn't do anything wrong. But people were hating on her, and I think they were telling her to off herself. She ended up doing it. And the people that were involved, like, some just disappeared, I think. But I think there was one guy, I think he was on Reddit, where he was trying to defend himself. And I'm like, fam, there ain't no defense for that. Somebody just lost their life. And I think she had a family. Didn't she have like a kid? And a husband. I think she did have a husband, because he was the one, I think, that came out and told everybody that she ended her life. And but I think they had a kid too, and I'm like, man, you know, that's just such a devastating thing to tell your kid once when they process it or understand, like, or they're, you know, starting to like get older, and then they're trying to figure out like what's going on and stuff, and then having to have that conversation because of, you know, some people where it's like, oh, they're quote unquote trolling. That's not trolling. I'm like, you don't know what a person is going through. So it's like, that's why I'm like, it's when I know when I get on the internet, when it comes down to content that I don't like, I don't watch it. And if it's like food or drinks, or music or movies and stuff that I don't fool with that stuff. If people ask for my opinion, I'm like, I might jokingly say some things about it, but other than that, realistically, like, I'm trying to think of a bad movie out there. Okay, yeah, but I can't think of no movies, but let's just say it's a movie that I just didn't genuinely like. I didn't care for because there are some movies out there where I'm like, nah, I'm not into that, and I might jokingly be all like, man, that was the most dumbest movie I don't know. I feel like that it might not be a joke, but at the end of the day, it's like, what, I guess, like, if a person that does like the movie, why does it matter on what I say about the movie and stuff? So it's like, you still gonna like the movie. I'm not going to take that away from you. If you like the movie, you like the movie. More power to you. But my thing is, and I guess like realistically speaking, you know, I just had, because I have my way of speaking, but I had to like, you know, get serious and all that stuff. So, but yeah, let's say it's I'm trying to think of a last movie I watched. Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. So let's say that's my favorite Indiana Jones movie. So to say bad things about that is extremely difficult. But anyways, but let's just say I didn't particularly like that movie. I'm like, yeah, it just seems different than the other movies, you know, like it does. Like I don't know, because I haven't really sat down and watched the other movies and stuff. But let's say I did watch the other movies. I'm like, yeah, it just seems different than the other movies. It just didn't really seem like it was about Indiana Jones. It seemed like it was more about the woman and the kid in there and stuff. So yeah, it didn't really, it wasn't really at times focused on Indiana Jones. And I'm like, yeah, I just didn't particularly, but man, that's all the movies and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm like, that's what I mean. It's difficult to talk badly about a movie that you like and things, but I'm not going to be all like, oh, this movie sucks, don't watch it. You know, and my thing is this, if there is a movie out there where it gives me that feeling, I'm not going to lie to people. And I'd like, if anything, I guess I'm like, hey, watch the movie at your own risk. If it's a video game, I'm like, play the game at your own risk. But at the same time, I'm like, I didn't like it. I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys, you know? So, but I'm not, I guess, like, I don't know. If it's a pattern, then I'm like, yeah, that person needs to definitely find something else to do. And if there's people out there that support them, then I'm like, hey, more power to them, you know. I guess with me, I'm like, I'm just going to, like, if it's a video game, if I am able to get my money back, then I'm like, hey, I am going full, because there's video games that I played where I'm like, that ain't good, you know, and, but at least I was able to get my money back, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to ignore that game, never play it again, more power to them, but I'm moving on, you know, so. But, yeah, I just feel like that, you know, when they just, like, you purposely go out your way to just sit around and hate on something, I'm like, fam, that's a disorder. And I'm like, especially if they're even, you just did it unprovoked, yeah, that's definitely a disorder. Like, there's something, man, there's probably a word for it out there somewhere and stuff, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely something that people need to be called out for, because I'm like, to me, that just don't make no sense to be carrying on like that, but. Anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.